So how tired are you right now?
I mean, I'm pretty tired, but after what we just heard, I still got a little adrenaline going, so that woke me up a little bit. I slept in, man. Got here right around like 10:30 and sat around waiting, and then after we got that news, I got a little energy left in me now. It's just kind of like a new jolt of energy for sure.
What were you thinking driving to the ballpark, and what was the reaction like when y'all got the news?
I mean, man, it's hard not to look on social media with everything these days, and you see all this stuff, and some things got you in, some things don't. But at the end of the day, I thought our resume was good enough, and I think we've earned enough respect from our wins, and I think our quad one wins speak for yourselves. I think it was like 7-9 against quad one teams, and then what we did this past week was. I thought that did enough for us, but I mean, there's always that little bit of doubt because you never know what the committee's thinking. So,
Coach talked about the scenarios other than win the tournament, and one of the ones he mentioned last week was losing a game and then getting coastal twice. Did y'all ever talk about that? How important that route might be?
He said that actually. Yeah. I mean, because I didn't know that was a possible route. I thought. We were all under the impression that we had to win the whole thing. And we know what Coastal carries with their RPI and everything that they carry, but I really didn't know that that was a possible scenario. And then we had talks of beating them once, and then we'd better our odds, and then we beat them twice, and then it's like we got a real good shot. But I never heard him talk about that. But our plan going into it was rack up as many wins as you can, get to that championship, and win it all. But I guess the route we took was a good one too.
Max, talk about your personal ups and downs and everything this season at the plate. And for a while, it looked like it wasn't going to happen, and then it really happened. So just how did you get through all that, and what about that journey?
I mean, this year's been real special to me because, I mean, what I was going through at the beginning of the year was not fun. I'll shoot it to you straight. It was not fun. And I had a lot of talks with Coach Deggs and a few of my teammates, and they just stayed with me. And ultimately, I thought about this the other day. I was like, man, going from 150 or wherever I was hitting, I think I don't know what I'm hitting now, but it's better than 150. And I thought about it, and I was like, the only thing that can do that is Jesus Christ himself. Let's be honest. Like, I went from 150 to whatever I am now with the double-digit home runs. And, I mean, it was a swing adjustment and the good Lord. I mean, honestly, I trusted that process and just kept trying to play for my teammates. And I knew once if I could produce a little bit, I mean, the team was winning without me. And I knew if I started producing a little bit that we'd be real good. So it's been tough. My whole career's been a grinder, honestly. But I've definitely coming to UL has definitely shaped me into a better person, which I think is ultimately what's been great for me. But yeah, it's been the ups and downs have definitely been tough. But I've had enough ups to where it equals out. Like days like today, days like last year winning the Sun Belt Championship. I mean, I could wait my whole life for this and it'd be worth it. These experiences were awesome.
Coach Diggs mentioned about, you guys getting the chance to be rejuvenated, have new life. Just to know that you guys had an opportunity, what does that mean to this team?
Just the opportunity is enough for us. It's hard not to press like what we went through, and like I said, like Coach Diggs said, we were written off in many situations. We've had a bunch of ups and downs, but now it's like you're here. Y'all got a level playing field, and you win one game, then you're in you face the winner of the next, and it's a level playing field. That's all it comes down to, and I think that gives us a bunch of confidence, so we don't have to press. It's not like we're trying to make the tournament no more. We made it, and now it's just time to go.
And piggybacking off of that, how much more satisfying is with some of the talk around the team after, say, the trip to James Madison, what you guys have been able to pull off the last 5, 6, 7 weeks? Is it any more satisfying?
It definitely is. That James Madison trip was brutal. Those 2 weeks, however long after that, was brutal because that's something that shouldn't happen, but I mean it did, and I think that story it makes it a little cooler and it makes it a lot more fun because just like people were writing us off, even maybe our own fans, like people were saying all these things about it, but now we're here, and it's just like we can do it. We know we can do it, and our team just stuck together. Our coaches stuck with us, and I think it's super special, very special.
Last year, y'all knew you were in. I love the way Coach Diggs said last year this day was scripted. You know, this year he talked about the raw emotion y'all just went through. Is that a good way to describe what just happened?
Yeah, because we were giving Coach Diggs a hard time because he came in and gave this speech, like making it sound like he was preparing us not to make it. But I don't know if he knew or not. But me and Will were talking about it. We're like, that was not a good speech. Like that's not what we wanted to hear because he was like, whether we're in or we're not, we're going to treat this thing like we're going to act like grown men in here. And we're like, oh, man. So we nobody ate their food. We had food. Nobody ate it because I wouldn't have been able to stomach it. But as soon as we saw our name, it was real emotion being surrounded by the teammates and knowing our relationship with each other. That was some real emotion. That was awesome.
Quick follow-up. Did you guys actually act like adults once you found out, or were you a bunch of kids?
A bunch of caged animals. So it was like we were all fired up, handshakes, high fives, hugs, and it was loud in there. Our locker room's not too big to fit 40 plus people, and there's barely any room to get around, but it was fun.